Yo, what's up? So, if you're still playing New World, you're probably aware of a lot of the issues they've had recently, namely with a lot of the problems they've had with their economy from there not being enough resources for the in-game stuff. I think Asmongold even brought up that some items that you need to even build like some in-game things with the crafting isn't even in the game at all, which is a little weird considering that the game is supposed to be heavily about crafting and like player exploration and player creation. So the idea that they put a recipe in the game that didn't have any kind of way to make it is really, really weird to me. But regardless, they've had other issues as well. Like they've had botting issues. There was a problem with gold duping, and so they had to prevent the server transfers that they were allowing. But they actually had to turn off the entire economy, and that happened pretty recently. I think that happened a day ago. So we're going to go over a PC Gamer article talking about it. But that being said, if you enjoy this type of content, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more gaming content. Specifically, I'm going to be trying out Halo Infinite, and I will be uploading a review of that probably sometime this week, hopefully, if all things go well. But yeah, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the article and talk about it a little bit here. So we have Amazon Games switches off New World's entire economy after players discovered duping glitch. And this isn't the first duping glitch. As I explained, there's already a gold duping with character transfers, and they've dealt with botting. So they've had a lot of weird issues. That being said, from what I understand, they've actually done a lot of good stuff with dealing with it. So that's good. Although this article kind of does go into some stuff saying that they didn't necessarily respond to this issue very quickly when it was brought up by some players. So let's talk about that a little bit. All right. So, over the weekend, New World players have discovered a glitch in Amazon Games' recently launched MMO, and not for the first time. This one allowed players to duplicate furniture, among many other items, though the duping of trophies, furniture that buffs you in the world, rare and expensive, is what's got some folk extremely hot under the collar. Players could use this glitch to duplicate a particularly expensive item and sell it for free money. Now, of course, items that give your character boosts are going to sell the most. That makes sense. High-end armor sells the most because it gives you the best benefits. Trophies sell a lot because they're hard to make, they're rare, stuff like that. They give you boosts. It's pretty basic understanding of how the economy in most video games is going to work, right? And I guess it's not always true, right? Sometimes the like extremely rare stuff, even if it's useless, will be worth more. Like I'm thinking like gilded things in like RuneScape or something like that. But either way, the idea is that if you can duplicate any furniture, you can just duplicate the most expensive furniture and then sell that furniture for like a lot of money. Now, of course, eventually this will crash the market for that furniture, so it's going to be more beneficial for the people who get it first. But if we look here, this post has initially included a video showing item duplication glitch in action. It's subsequently been removed from YouTube. So it's probably good that it's been removed from YouTube. You don't want a lot of people ruining the economy. Now, I know there's kind of an argument to be had here. Well, if some people get to ruin the economy, it's only fair that everyone can like benefit from that, I guess. Maybe, but I feel like this is damage control from Amazon, and I'm glad that like less people are doing it, because the less damage that's done to the economy, the better it is for the game. And I would expect them to investigate who's doing this duping thing and remove, maybe not remove the trophies from people who bought them, although maybe that's an option. Probably remove the gold from the people who did this, right? That would be what I suspect would happen. Something like that, that's what I would guess. There was something of a conflagration on the game's official forums about this exploit, with players who posted the mythology explaining they tried to report it and through back channels before going public after Amazon Games took no action. Okay, that is a massive problem. If people are reporting things to your game, things that can destroy the economy like this, things that can ruin gameplay for a lot of people, and the company is not taking action, that's obviously a problem. That as a company, Amazon needs to respond to this. And it could be that they are just overwhelmed with the number of reports of other stuff that's happening. But regardless, this is probably really frustrating for the people who found this. And so like they kind of felt like, what choice do I have but to like bring this to like a new level of attention by exposing this exploit, right? I saw the other post on a potential trophy duplication and thought I'd throw a few minutes to at replication. Writes a player named Poverty. Turned out to be very easy to do. I was on the fence about posting the details like this, but previous attempts from my company mates on reporting item duplication fell on deaf ears. Out in the open seems to be the only way to go. Yeah. So as a company, you don't want that to be the standard, right? You don't want people to feel like the only way that they can report things to you is by making them public. And that's the only way that anything will get done. This is obviously a problem with a lot of things. It's not just a problem with games. Like it feels like the only way to get companies to respond to problems you have sometimes is to like tweet at them or something like that. And this is a very similar thing. It's like the only way that he can get this problem solved or she can get this problem solved or they can get this problem solved is by making it ultra public, is like broadcasting it to the world, right? And Amazon really doesn't want that to be the only way that people feel that they can have their voice heard, because it's going to result in a lot more damage than if they just listen to like the report the first time. Needless to say, this sparked a reaction, alright, and some rather spicy back and forth between angry players and community reps. The following text was posted by community manager Tosch. Hi all, we are aware of a possible duplication exploit that has been circulating in the forums and social media. We're disabling all forms of wealth transfer between players, i.e. sending currency, guild treasury, trading posts, player-to-player trading while we investigate. Any player that has engaged in the use of this exploit will be actioned against. Once the duplication exploit has been investigated and we are ready to turn on the wealth transfer again, we will update this post. Thank you for understanding. Now, this might be a hot take. I think this is the right response from Amazon, because a game like New World lives and dies off of its economy and its player-driven economy at that, right? It's not like there's a lot to do in the game outside of like manipulating the economy and kind of creating your own player-driven content through wars and stuff like that, right? That's like a massive part of the gameplay loop. It's integral to how the game works. And so to prevent sustained and heavy damage to that system, this seems like the right thing to do, is to like, hey, we're going to halt everything until it's possible to check out what's going on here. And also taking a hard line approach to the people who have exploited this. I think that's the best option you have. You don't want people thinking they can exploit things and get away with it. This is a problem in a lot of games, namely World of Warcraft. That's where I come from most, where if an exploit is known and you use it, you're probably not going to have any action taken against you unless you like completely fuck up the server. Like I think there was that one person who exploited the game in some way and they like actually brought down the servers and then they got actioned against, but most people it doesn't happen. Like I'm going to go back to Nathria. There was a glitch on Sludge Fist where you could actually snap him into any room in the raid pretty much, but people would often just snap him into the huntsman room, and it was a lot easier to kill him because half of the mechanics were gone, right? And so it would just be easy for you to kill Sludge Fist that way. And that was an exploit that went on. As far as I know, it still is doable, right? It never got fixed, but like nobody really talked about it. And if it ever got like somebody found out about it, you probably wouldn't have been like they probably wouldn't have done anything against you unless like it became like you had like a YouTube video about it or something. Maybe then they'd do something about you. But I think that this is a really good approach from Amazon to really take a really strong arm approach, because you don't like, honestly, you don't want it to feel like exploiting is okay, because if people feel like it's okay as long as they do it early and it doesn't matter after that because it'll get fixed, then you'll mitigate the damage that can be done to like any system in the game. So I think this is a good approach. You know, as I said, hot take maybe. People can disagree with me. If you do, leave it in the comments down below why you think I'm wrong. But I think that this prevents the most damage to the majority of players. Which is all to say, New World has turned off its entire economy. Again, like this happened during the gold duping thing. As you'd expect, players are responding to the news in a very calm and rational manner. Of course, that's how game players are, especially MMO players, are so calm and rational. And if you disagree with me, then we're probably on the same side. You should go watch my video, The WoW Community's Copium, because I explain a lot about their problems there. But some say they'll never play New World again. Others vow, yeah, no, we're never gonna play the game. They turned the economy off for half a minute. Yeah, relax, dude. Others vow that they're going back to WoW. No, you're not. WoW has way more problems. There's general agreement that any exploiters should be permabanned and so on. True. To be fair to the developer, however, it doesn't get much worse than for an MMO than something like this, which could potentially upset the entire resource economy. That's true. And again, I especially for New World, who like most of their content is based on this player driven stuff. And yeah, like this is probably worst case scenario for this kind of game. So Amazon Games had little choice other than to do. Yeah, I agree. They didn't really like. There's not much else they could do. It's like the same thing about the people complaining when the game got delayed. It's like, okay, relax, buddy. The game got delayed. Like they didn't kill your mom. Okay, just chill out. I understand. There's a lot of problems, but they're doing the best they can. Like I actually genuinely feel like some companies, it feels like they're not doing the best they can. They just hate the players. Wow. But for this game, it honestly feels like the developers and the company, at least the part of Amazon that's making the game, is doing everything they can for the players. Like it really feels like they care, and they're very, very, very transparent and communicative with like the people. And I think that's a really good. I think that's really good for the game, and I hope that the genre can follow along with that. I think it's probably the best case scenario, to be honest. Um, so I mean, what was there like one more? We've contacted Amazon Games for comment exploit when a fix can expected, and we'll update with any response. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much all there is to that. I mean, New World's had a lot of problems since its release. I mean, that's no lie. But I think for Amazon's first game and how, like I said, transparent and communicative like they've been with the player base, I can't really fault them that much. Like, yeah, some of these things are probably should have been known beforehand. Some of these things should have never made it into the game. Yes, but for the totality of things that have happened, I think the company has done a really good job with what they have. And I think it's okay that there's some mistakes, and I think that their response is generally really good and okay. I don't appreciate players getting mad when they have to take hardline responses, such as delaying the game. I think getting mad at that is ridiculous, and honestly, you're kind of a pussy if you get mad at stuff like that. But that's my opinion. Let me know if you disagree with me. I'm all for discourse and like discontent and like whatever you want to call it. However you want to like combat me, go for it. Leave a comment if you did enjoy this kind of stuff. Like and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I do a lot of content like this. But yeah, I think that this is worst case scenario for the game. I think that their response is probably best case scenario given what happened. But like I said, let me know what you think. And that's pretty much it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.